Hi, Glenn with Revolution Barbecue here today, and today we're going to work on a Hawaiian-inspired Kalua pork. So we have a pork shoulder here, or a Boston butt picnic cut. We have about a tablespoon of olive oil with about a teaspoon of liquid smoke. I'm going to use this to rub down the pork so that the spices stick to it. I have some Hawaiian pink salt, not to be confused with the pink curing salt. You want this nice light pink color or brownish color. If you have the bright pink salt, that is pink brighting salt, and that is not good for you in this great of a quantity. So make sure it's this darker pinkish, brownish Hawaiian salt. If you don't have the Hawaiian salt, you can use kosher salt or sea salt, but you're not going to have the same effect. And not quite traditional, but I like it, a little bit of light brown sugar. And then of course, make sure you have sanitation, have some gloves. So let's get some gloves going. Hope I don't rip them. You should have your fire quite a bit out of the way, because we don't really need this to rest. So while we're doing this, your chimney or your fire or your firebox, whatever you have for your smoker, should be going. First, we're going to take the olive oil and with the liquid smoke in it, just rub it down. Don't need a whole lot, just enough to cover it. Flip it over, make sure you get both sides. Okay, first we're going to do the brown sugar. Again, not traditional, but I like the little flavor that it adds. Also adds a nice little crust while it's smoking. So, don't need a whole lot, just going to rub that in there nice and thin. That in there. Don't forget the sides. Flavor it all around. Okay, with the pink salt, this is traditionally a very salty dish, so you want to actually add a little extra to this. It's not as strong. If you're using kosher salt or sea salt, I would not use quite as much, but with the pink salt, it's not as strong. So you're going to want to use this liberally. Again, like I said, this is traditionally a more salty dish, so we are going to add more salt than you traditionally would. You can always at the end add some additional salt, but this is a little bit different than your regular pulled pork, so it's supposed to be a little salty. Okay, as far as preparation, pretty much ready to go. I always cook mine fat side up. I have mine in the tray, ready to go. And again, a little non-traditional, this is my take on it. So traditionally, again, you would have a hole in the backyard, and you would bury that in there. You would wrap this in banana leaves, wrap it in foil, put it in, underground, in a hole, cover it over with burlap, and smoke it that way. I like to get the smoke flavor, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on the smoker straight for about 4 hours to get good smoky flavor. And then we're going to pull it off, wrap it in banana leaves and foil, and we're going to put it back on. One about this size, probably going to take about 8 hours. So let me get the smoker set up. Okay, Glenn with Revolution Barbecue here. So what we got set up here is what we call the minion method. You're going to go ahead and put a large coffee can here in the center. You're going to go ahead and put all your briquettes around, and then you're going to go ahead and put your wood inside, and then you're going to go ahead and pour your hot briquettes in here. You're going to pull this out. The concept behind this is that instead of lighting all of this and then it all burns at the same time, what you're going to do is take your hot coals, put it in here. When you remove the can, it's slowly going to ignite the other ones, and that will extend your cook time. Traditionally, if I was going to do a long cook, I would spread out the wood more, but since we're only going to do 4 hours of smoke, I'm just going to go ahead, and I have all the wood chips for the most part close up to the can, so that they'll burn sooner than later, since we only need about 4 hours of smoke. So I'm going to go ahead and get the charcoal going here, and then we'll put the rest of the WSM together. Okay. Yes, that's hot. Okay, give it a minute. Let me go ahead and pull that can out. There you go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the pork on. I'm going to get it going on here. For those of you who are WSM owners, I do not have water bath going. We're only going to have about 4 hours of direct smoke, and so I'm not going to use a water bath. Go ahead and just get the rest of the salt out. Don't waste any of that. Get it all rubbed in, and you're good to go. Okay, we got this on the smoker right now, and then like I said, we're just going to go ahead and cover this and leave it as is. We're going to leave it. We're not going to open the lid or anything. We're going to let it run for about 4 hours. Get the good flavor of smoke in here. I'm sure I mentioned we're using pecan wood for this one. A nice smoky flavor, nothing too strong, but something that'll get into the meat, and so that when we wrap it, and after we're done, we'll have a nice smoky flavor to it. So, nighty night. See you in about 4 hours. Okay, it's been 4 hours that we've had the meat on the smoker. We're going to go ahead and take it out, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it. Internal temperature is about 140 degrees, so we're right where we want to be. I got here is 2 sheets of foil, big enough to completely wrap the pork, and then we have 2 sheets of banana leaves. We're going to wrap that about, and then wrap the whole thing up double foil. Banana leaves can be found in specialty markets, Asian markets. Here in Southern California, we have Ranch 99, Seafood City, the Murukai markets. We can find them there. Sometimes you can get them at Williams-Sonoma or like Sur La Table markets. Get them online. There's some videos online that show banana skins as a substitute for banana leaves. They are not a substitute. You can also get tea leaves, the big full tea leaves. It'll impart a little bit of a different flavor, but you're definitely going to get a unique flavor out of banana leaves. It's not just for show. It actually does put out a good amount of flavor, and there's really no substitute for it. If you can't do it, it's okay. Just wrap it in foil. You're not going to get the same flavor, but it's still going to make some great pork. So we're going to get our lid off. Of course, we're in the shadow, but hopefully you can see we got nice pork going here. I'll move one of these leaves out of the way for right now. Pull our pork off and center it there. Okay, put one over the top. And so you can see, so I got one over the top, one over the bottom. Lightly wrapped meat. Get one good cover on that, and then one more. Having it twice is going to make sure we didn't let it leave any air holes. Keeps all the heat in. We definitely don't want all the juices out. Be a nice little package, all nicely tightly wrapped like that. Okay, we're going to get this back on the smoker. There we go. Get it up nice and tight like that. We're going to let that run probably another 4 hours, and we ought to be done. We're going to take a little bit later with temperature probe as we start getting a little bit closer. One you can push on it, you feel a little kind of jello-y. we knew we were getting close. We want to get at least 190 to 200 degrees on this so that we can pull it off and it'll pull really well. So back we go for another 4 hours. Okay, we're at about a little over 8 hours with the pork now. We've hit 195 degrees with it. I got a nice little jiggle to it, so it looks like we're doing good. Let's go ahead and open up the foil. I'm going to be careful not to spill the juices. We want to keep that. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. And that's always a good sign. Without making a mess, I'm going to try to get this meat out of here. One container. And another container. I want to save all the drippings. Save all that. After we pull the pork, we're going to want to add that back in. Out of the way. You can use a pair of forks. I have my hot gloves on, so I'm just going to cheat and I'm just going to pull it apart by hand. And you know you are done when it pulls apart like that. That is beautiful. See, it just pulls right apart. A little fatty bit in the middle. Get that out of there. I don't like to pull it too much. I like nice big chunks. Love that fat in there. Overflowing a little bit here. I like to set that piece aside. And filled up our container here. Fatty bit. I'm going to add some of this liquid back in, maybe about half. Make up these big pieces. I'm going to mix in that liquid. Good, the flies want it. Salty, smoky. How does that sound? Good dinner. That is Kalua pork. Well, thanks for joining, watching our video. Please check our website, www.powertothepig.com, for more recipe ideas, to see our rubs, and look for specials in our gallery. Thanks again, and thank you for joining.